Hello, everybody, and welcome to Weslaco ISD Live. I am your host, Carlos Robledo, and what a week it has been here at WISD as student athletes are now back on campus. That's right, summer conditioning is now taking place, and you have your athletes that are here. Everything from swimming, basketball, and yes, football. That's right, we're talking football here at WISD. Well, join me now is the head coach of the Weslaco East Wildcats, now in his 14th season at Weslaco East, head coach Mike Burget, and they're back on the field with the summer workouts taking place. First of all, Coach, tell me, how is that going? Because there's a lot of social distancing that's taking place, and everyone has to wash their hands and even wear a mask.
Well, first of all, I can't even tell you I'm excited. We haven't seen the kids for about 3 months. And, you know, with all the new rules and stuff, and it's good. You know, I got a son out there, so, you know, with all the new rules of, you know, trying to stay 6 feet apart and, you know, all the stations we got for the kids can wash their hands and, you know, try to keep this virus away from all our students. It's been a little bit crazy out there. You know, first of all, I didn't expect this many kids. And, you know, we got so many, we're up to about 300 boys and girls a day. You know, we spread them out. We make sure that we follow the guidelines that WISD, the state of Texas, has put on us. And, you know, it's been different. It's been challenging because, you know, we've never done this before. But I'm going to tell you, talk about excited coaches and kids getting out of the house and finally doing something again. And, you know, shoot, I can tell you after many years of coaching now, I really missed what, you know, we take granted for every day. So, you know, I'm very happy to be back out there, and I think all our coaches and players would tell you that.
Absolutely, and just taking a look at some of the photos and videos from some of the other schools and what Weslaco East is doing and what we're doing here at WISD. I think the coaches have just done an outstanding job of keeping people separated, using as many facilities as possible, and keeping everybody separated. And I think everyone's doing just an outstanding job and has really risen to the challenge out there. What about a season? Have they, because it hasn't been officially talked about, a season coming up and how that's going to look. Have they talked to you? Have you heard anything about that from UIL?
For them to stop football in the state of Texas, you know, something major's got to happen. Of course, it has happened. I was talking to Gilbert, our kicker last year, and he's going to play up in Kingsville, and he's going to be hopefully their main kicker. Well, they got their first game canceled already. And I went, whoa. So, you know, there's going to be some changes made. And, you know, we're hoping we can get a full season. We got one non-district game, and it's against Weslaco High. And then we start a nine-game district. We're in a 10-team district, so that's 9 district games. And, you know, I really think this is going to be a season. I think people are, you know, want to get back, get to work, and, you know, want to try to get back to so-called normal life. Mm-hmm. You know, I do. I mean, my family at the house means the world to me, but it's time they want me out of the house again. I don't know if that's good or bad, but, you know, we think there'll be a season.
All right, Coach, and I know that you guys are preparing for it, and the season looks like you said, you're going to start off with Weslaco High. You got one non-district game, then you got Veterans Memorial, Brownsville, Porter, and these are all district games. Pace, McAllen, Palmview, Lopez, McAllen Rowe, and then you end the season at home against McAllen Memorial. So you got some of and you're now in a new district. You know, you're now in the 5A district, but you're playing against, it seems like, some of the old some old teams from 32 and 31 6A in those McAllen schools.
You know, not only McAllen schools, we started at the, I'm going to guess 4A or 5A. We used to play Brownsville Veterans, and we had some great wars with them. And, you know, we met them in the playoffs. And, you know, I've been dying to play Donna. You know, Donna's our first district game. And, you know, one of my coaches moved over there as the head coach, Mike Gonzalez. And, you know, I think it's going to be great. I worked over there for 8 years. I had a great time in Donna. You know, we had some great memories, and, you know, playing Donna and playing in this district we're at, you know, there's four 6A teams that moved down. Nicky Rowe, Mac High Memorial, and of course Weslaco East. So, it's going to be a heck of a district. We know what we're going to get there. We're going to get great football. Pace is up and coming. Porter seems to be improving. Palmview's got a 2,000-yard rusher coming back. So, yeah, we look forward to the challenge. And, we always do. We always meet it head on. We got a great coaching staff. I've been very blessed here at Weslaco East to keep the majority of the staff together till this year. And, we've lost some great coaches this year. And, Mike G, I consider one of the best linebacker coaches, in the Valley. And, when he went over there, he took one of our assistants, Danny Salinas, to be his defense coordinator. I don't blame him a bit. Danny moved up to defense coordinator. So, we lost some coaches this year, and we're looking to replace them.
Yeah, Coach, and you got Mike Gonzalez is over at Donna, and your defensive coordinator has been there since the school opened. Rene Guzman, he takes care of that defense, and you got to be excited because you have a lot of players coming back from a defense that was, if not mistaken, the number one defense in the Rio Grande Valley.
They was the number one defense, and what I'm proud is the schedule that we played. We started off with Manor, who went 4 deep. We played Hannah, a big school, Harlingen. We went over and played Alexander, Laredo Alexander, who always does great. And Coach Guzman, he runs the defense. That's, there's no doubt about that. Sometimes I think when I go down past that midfield mark, I've told you this many a time, Goose, like, that's your side over there. And, it's great to have a guy like that. I always said that, if something should happen, and hopefully it don't, Coach Guzman is a guy that he's ready. He's been ready, and he's a great leader. He leads them defensive coaches, and sometimes when I'm not around, he leads the whole athletic department here at Weslaco East. He's a great guy. I think everybody knows that Coach Guzman is a well-liked guy. He gets his defense to play. He's got some great assistant coaches that's been there for years. Noel Villarreal, who has been a DC for many years. Andre Perriman, who's been here just as long as I have. Josh Pedraza, who's the city commissioner. I better not forget his name. And those guys have always done a great job, and we lost some defensive coaches this year. I sort of teased Goose a little bit. He's got to replace 4 defensive coaches this year.
Wow.
And all he said was, that's okay. Yeah. Next. But, I'm excited. Our coaches are excited. Our kids are excited. We're moving down to 5A because our school, the numbers are low, and that's okay. But we still want to prove that we're one of the best football teams in the Valley.
Well, when you were at 4A, you went 3 deep in the playoffs. When you were at 6A, you went 3 deep in the playoffs. So you've been doing it at every level, Coach. So I have no doubt that you're going to find success at this next district as well. It was a couple of years ago when you lost Pedraza and you lost J.C. Vargas, and you still had Lefevre, and you had to carry the team for a while as your quarterback. But now you've lost Ramsey Vasquez, not to injury, but he graduated, unfortunately, after 4 years of you using him all over the place. And he was so important to you guys, just tipping that pass away against Robert Villa to win the district championship in overtime, to scoring touchdowns all season long. And so I know it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for you guys to find a replacement at quarterback, or is it going to be a challenge?
But, every year when we sit down, we lost Lefevre, and we lost Roy, and we lost JC, we lost Bobby Gonzalez, we lost Aaron McGee, we lost, I go on. And every year as coaches look at each other and go, oh, man, what are we going to do now? Well, not only did we lose Ramsey last year, who had 1,611 yards, we lost Russell. Now, he ended up getting a knee injury, but he was heading for 1,600 yards himself. He had 800 yards. We lost Hector, who had 611 yards, 8.9 average. We lost Josh, who come back and played part offense, part defense, who had a couple hundred yards. So, saying that, we lost a senior ball club that's pretty good. But I have to tell you, saying that, we have a guy named Gio coming back who had 732 yards. I keep my stats all over my office. That's why you see me reach up and look up. He had 732 yards, and he would have been a guy that would probably have been the guy that had 1,500 yards if he would not have had a sprained ankle in the scrimmages. Mm-hmm. He got a bad sprained ankle, so he wasn't able to go full time for us last year, and still had 732 yards playing the toughest district, down here. So we're pretty proud. But, to replace a Ramsey, we don't ask the kid. I don't ask the kid to replace a Ramsey. There is no Ramsey. There is no Roy. I want the kids to be themselves. And we think we got a couple guys, Javi Garza. He's going to be a junior. He plays baseball. He plays third base, catcher. Man, what a kid. He sat on the bench, behind Ramsey in case something happened as a sophomore and just waiting for his time. His time is now. We also have a kid named Edward. And Edward, it was number 3 last year. And Edward against Harlingen had 6 carries for, I think, about 60-some yards. And he's going to be a senior. He's 6'1". He's about 185 pounds, and he runs tough. So, with those two guys, and then we have a freshman quarterback's going to be a sophomore. He's about 6'2", 6'3". He's 185 pounds right now. He put on a lot of weight and good weight. I was shocked when he come back, after missing 3 months, and he throws a good ball. And, we're gonna have all those guys and hopefully, do the same thing we have been doing. But, the key to Weslaco East for years, and a lot of people don't know this, is the offensive line.
Absolutely.
We get in the weight room, and before we left, we had kids. And, I talked to Mike the other day. Mike called me, and he was just a little disappointed. He went over to Donna, and the top bencher was 300 pounds exact. Well, I mean, here that's an average bench.
Mm-hmm. Your quarterback does that.
Yeah, we had Coach Bowen come over, and we just hired Coach Bowen, and Coach Bowen is coming from us from Donna, and he said, "Coach, wow, I put Pedro, my left guard there, and I put my center there, Zeke, and those guys are repping 315." He goes, "Wow." And I said, "Well, it's just an expectation. We don't want our backs and quarterbacks getting hit. We run the ball 99.9999999% of the time. So they got to learn how to come off the ball and hit, So, offensive line wise, when I go out there, all I do is say, yeah. I look at those offensive linemen. They're working. We're trying to get a little bit of trying to get them back in shape a little bit. They had 2.5, 3 months of sitting at home. They did as much as they could. There's only so much you can do at the house.
Absolutely.
Some of the parents was very careful, and I appreciate them getting their sons back healthy. They made them stay, at home and follow the rules and did good. And, offensive linemen, they love to eat. They love to eat. Sometimes they put on some extra pounds like their head coach. But, right now they're up here, they're running and they're lifting, and we're taking it easy. I always told them Rome wasn't built in a day. When we're coming up here, I'm not trying to win a football game in June. I want to win games in August and, September. And, we're not running. We're just taking our time. We're running real slow. And the kids, I think, appreciate that because we're not trying to kill them the first week. That wouldn't be very smart of us.
All right, Coach. Well, first game where you got a scrimmage against Real Hondo, and then you got your first game against Weslaco High School on August 28th, and then before you know it, it's going to be district, and then it'll be playoff time, and we'll be rocking and rolling like we always do every year. Thank you very much, Coach Mike Burget, entering his 14th season at Weslaco East High School as the head coach. Thank you very much, Coach, for being here on the show.
Thank you, guys, and everybody stay safe. Thank you, guys.
Coach. All right, Coach. We'll see you.